Men are being arrested for playing games.
God bless you. Thank you. Damn. I gotta kill you. I know.
Men are being arrested for playing games. Guys, men are now being arrested for simply playing games. The FBI is listening in when men are playing games. Watch the end of the video to find out why the FBI is listening in when men are playing games and taking gamers to jail, because this is a very serious issue. Not only are they listening in, they're also arresting men for just watching YouTube videos. Let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
You got anything on you?
No, if you guys can't.
Okay.
You guys can't check me.
We can check you.
You guys can't. How would you know?
It's for our safety, okay? We gotta make sure.
FBI is cracking down on voice chat and gaming. They're already monitoring everything you're saying on things like Roblox, Discord, Reddit. Most of y'all probably didn't know this, but you can even get banned from Fortnite if you say the wrong thing while you're in party chat with your friends. Yeah, not even random strangers, y'all. Fortnite is tracking everything you're saying while you're talking with your friends on there. PlayStation and Xbox also do this. So I really want y'all to know, anything you say while you're on voice chat on anything.
We're gonna be transported.
Stop. I don't want to hit you.
I don't wanna go.
Marlon, stop. Resist.
Stop moving around.
Evidently, the FBI, you know those guys? The FBI, yeah, evidently they're cracking down on what you're talking about in your game chat whenever you're playing video games. Like Roblox, Fortnite, Call of Duty, yeah, they're peeping in and listening to what you're saying. So a lot of you guys are probably screwed. Yeah, a lot of you guys are probably going to prison. So if you have a buddy that you play video games with and you know that he rages a lot, and if he disappears for a little bit, just know he's probably locked away. And about 50% of my students, I'm convinced they're not going to be at school anymore. Yeah, because I've played video games with some of the high school dudes that I teach, like Call of Duty, and I'm almost convinced that they're going to be locked away because the things that they say are absolutely dark. Like, you cannot say that, like, outside of your room, because if you say that in public, you're going to get beat up or you're going to jail.
We gotta check you to make sure everything's clear.
Bearer of bad news, but the federal government just said that they're going to be spying on you playing video games to combat extremism. It seems the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security are going to be partnering with gaming companies to fight extremist gamers. Government Accountability Office
they did this after 9/11 too.
Says that the FBI and DHS should use the same strategy that allowed them to police extremism on social media to regulate the gaming industry. And the Anti-Defamation League, super reputable, says that 20% of adult gamers and 15% of kids playing games report being exposed to white supremacy while gaming. What constitutes extremism? You may ask. Racially or ethnically motivated violence, anti-government or
Abortion.
It's probably being tracked. If you take a video on your phone that you don't want anyone to see and you have something like iCloud backing it up, then they actually monitor not only what is in that video, they also can see everything you're saying, everything you're doing. And if you're doing something in those videos that you probably shouldn't be doing, then you can be flagged for it. Even if you don't post it, just if you take a video on your phone and it happens to get backed up.
You guys starting to crack down on freaking weird ass gamers who say racist and like out of pocket stuff on the streams to each other.
What?
And they're trying to say they're extremists and they might
That's
be
some bullshit.
Bro, they're trying to flag it down, so the FBI and the gaming services are going to start working with them to flag them down because these fools be saying out of pocket
FBI has been monitoring what you watch on YouTube, and they're demanding Google give them all your info if you watch certain videos. Now, this just became public out of a case in Kentucky, where the FBI was granted the right to spy on up to 30,000 people over this.
Animal rights.
Or environmental
What
extremism.
the fuck?
You're pro-life, apparently. And all other domestic terrorism threats, which the FBI has already said includes going to church on Sunday. This is super constitutional.
dangerous shit.
I don't agree with that, bro.
What are they saying that's out of pocket?
I don't know, but you never
can't
been
talk
on
Call of Duty now?
For real, bro.
Hey, you know this is some bullshit.
I'm gonna get like put in a straight jacket. So yeah, next time you play a video game, make sure you tell the FBI how much you love them and all that.
Oh, I'm over here playing video games.
I see that.
Stop doing it. Don't check my boss. That's
So, do you know that video or no? That's what I'm talking about.
yes.
Okay, where is it?
On me.
Where on you?
Struggle. I don't know.
Okay, well then you need to find it.
Did you guys say I had a knife on you?
Google to give your IP address even if you accidentally watch these videos. This is crazy. And they'll be gathering all your emails, all your phone numbers, all your contact information, your entire watch history. Now, specifically, they were going after people that watch money laundering tutorials. But this is the federal government. They're just testing the waters with this here. You know they're going to start implementing this on things they don't want us to have, like free speech and the Second Amendment. And I grew up, I'm a 90s kid, so the internet is supposed to be for free speech and communicating worldwide and sharing knowledge. Now, obviously, the internet became a total shitstorm. But back in the 90s, we didn't know that. And I would watch out, because I believe that the FBI can do this. Other federal agencies like the ATF can start implementing these rules.
Video and you forget iCloud backup is off. Well, too bad, it's being monitored now. Now, things like iCloud, I don't think it's been confirmed whether or not that goes to the FBI.
I mean, guys, this is the reality we now live in. We are being monitored for everything that we say and do. We're being monitored for the videos that we watch online. We're being monitored for the games that we play. We're being monitored for everything. And keep in mind, there was already a system in place to police extremism. So, for example, if people say things that could lead to very bad situations, Microsoft, Steam, Sony, PlayStation, they already have a system in place to report that type of thing to the government, to law enforcement agencies to take action very, very quickly. And that's so they already have that in place. But what they're saying is that they need a system in place to actively and regularly and frequently surveil gamers, so around the clock. So basically, gamers need to be under 24-hour surveillance. The reason why this is actually happening is not because of misogyny. It's not because of anything like that. It's because men are walking away, men are leaving society, or some men are even going MGTOW, separating themselves from relationships, from society. They're leaving spaces. They were pushed out of society by the state. They were pushed out of society by women who said that, hey, we don't want you in these public spaces anymore. We don't feel safe if you're in these public spaces anymore. You need to leave. We don't want you walking down on the same streets as us. We don't want you breathing the same air as us. So what did men do? Men are basically going the only place where they believe that they are safe, into their homes. They're staying home. They're playing games. They're watching TV. Now what's happening? They are basically surveilling you for the videos that you're watching on YouTube. Don't be surprised when they start surveilling you for the videos you're watching across all different platforms, everything from Netflix to Hulu, because they want to build a profile on you. And this will allow them to basically wirelessly tap you. So, for example, if they want to know what you're saying, they'll go onto these online games and they will monitor you whenever they feel like it. They will listen in and they will record everything that you say around the clock. This way they can always know what you're doing or what you're saying or where you are. And guys, there's also technology that's coming out. I actually talked about this in another video. There's this device that you wear around your neck, and it's basically a friend for you. So it's a friend for people who are lonely, or just not lonely. They're calling it like the new Tamagotchi, and you can put it on, wear it with you. They're going to put a camera in it eventually, and it will allow you to talk to someone, and then it'll respond on your phone using AI. And again, the ultimate goal is to put a camera in the device so that you can talk to it and it can be with you. And it basically is always on, listening in on you and monitoring everything you say.
So imagine this, having a companion that's always there for you, like literally wherever you go, and it's always ready to chat whenever you need it. That's what this young tech guy, Avi Schiffman, is working on with his new AI project called Friend, because apparently we've all forgotten how to make real ones. It's like he looked at humanity and said, yeah, they're better off with something that won't ask them to move a couch, forget their birthday, or hit them up for money when they're short on rent. All right, so let's dive into how all of this got started. Avi, who's really been into this idea for a couple of years now, initially called his product Tab, but as he kept refining the concept, he realized that Friend was a much better name for what he was aiming to create. The whole idea was to build something that could genuinely be there for people, not just as a tool, but as a kind of supportive presence in their lives.
I don't know how to woo very good. That's fair.
Initially, when he started working on this, he was thinking of it as more of a traditional AI assistant, something that could keep you on track with tasks and remind you about things. But then at some point, he kind of had this realization that he didn't really want to go head to head with big players like Apple or Microsoft, who are already killing it in that space. So he decided to take things in a different direction, focusing less on getting things done and more on creating this digital companion that could just, hang out with you kind of like a close friend. So what's the deal with Friend anyway? Well, it's this small, round, glowing orb, kind of like something out of a sci-fi movie, that you can wear around your neck like a necklace or clip onto your clothes or bag. It's got a microphone in it so it can listen to you and even have conversations with you. But here's where it gets interesting. It doesn't talk back to you in the way you might expect. Instead of speaking out loud, it communicates through text messages that you can read on your phone using the Friend app.
I know the effects are crazy. It's dank. I could eat one of these every day.
Avi figured that most people would feel more comfortable with this approach since we're all pretty used to texting these days. The idea is that this little device is with you all the time. You can chat with it about pretty much anything, your day, your thoughts, your ideas, or even how you're feeling, and it's designed to be really encouraging and supportive.
Sorry, I got you messy.
But just to be clear, Avi isn't trying to replace real human interaction with this thing. He even mentions this theory about how in the future one of the closest people in your life might actually be an AI like Friend.
Wow, the closest people in your life might be an AI like. So this is basically, it's just another push. And guys, he paid $2 million for the domain for this device, the website domain. How did a 21-year-old, he's 21 years old, how did a 21-year-old get startup funding for this device? How was a 21-year-old able to drop $2 million just for a domain? It's kind of like he has maybe a rich uncle or a rich law enforcement agency like the NSA or CIA, or, no, those are just theories. Those are just theories. There could be nothing behind that. I'm sure that, he worked very hard at his summer job to come up with that money. And, now he's just trying to help the world, and I talked about this in one of my lives, and people pointed out that there's all kinds of ways that people can use this. Instead of having a real girlfriend, his friend, for example, is named Emily. Instead of having a real girlfriend, you can have a girlfriend named Emily, and Emily will basically be there to talk with you and be your companion. You could do things like buy roses for Emily, or buy food for her. So when you're eating, she's also eating right along with you. And his ultimate intention, this is what he says later in the video, is to put a camera in there. So eventually, your friend can pay attention to the world around you and respond to you in real time. How sick is this? And a lot of the Sims are just going to jump right on and say, hey, man, this is totally awesome. There's nothing wrong with this. I mean, we use Echo devices and they're listening all the time, and that worked out great. Because you have to think about this. Who would pay for Only Fools? A simp. Simps are the reason why we're living in this dystopia right now. It's the reason why things continue to get worse. Because simps don't care. Simps don't care. All right? And why are there so many simps in the manosphere? The manosphere is rife with simps because they have nowhere else to go. They've created a society that is hostile towards men. They're men, so it's hostile towards them. But guess what? They can't change their ways, so they have nowhere else to go. So where do they go? They go where the men have gone. Okay? We created this space for ourselves, and then what do the Sims do? They run and push themselves into it. Okay? And then they start sharing, and then they start, presenting all of their Sim garbage that men have come here to escape. It's like the Sims are unescapable, and there's no code of conduct, so of course they can continue simping however they choose to and spreading their symbology. I agree with some things, but I don't agree with everything. Guys, we could literally be in a burning building, and the Sims would say that, well, we need to get the women and children out first, and you're like, why? Why should we prioritize someone else's safety over our own? Because men are supposed to serve. Men are supposed to provide and protect and endure. The greatest thing a man can do in life, what a man is born to do, is to sacrifice himself. Like, this is what the state is saying. This is what women say. This is what Sims say. A man's purpose in life is to sacrifice himself. All right? It's a sick society. Look at what's happening in the Philippines right now, where you used to be able to get a 6-month visa. Now you can only get a 2-month visa. I talked about MK. I talked with MK Fitness and well MK Gaming now, but MK Fitness, a little while ago, and he was like, hey, now it's a 2-month visa, and they make the process a living hell where they scrutinize you, and it's not just happening in the Philippines; it's happening in other countries as well. All right, because they're cracking down. They're trying to, don't forget that you belong to the state. The state believes that they own you. All right, so no matter where you go, they can pull you back. They can call all the men back. Look at what Japan is doing. There's a bunch of Japanese living, I forget what country it is, but there's a bunch of Japanese that left Japan years ago, and they're in another country right now, and there's a large population of Japanese over there, like maybe tens of thousands of them living in another country, and they're trying to get those people back. It's crazy. And those people are not legally Japanese anymore, but they're still trying to get them back. And when it comes to the United States, no matter what you do as men, remember, we pay 80% of all the taxes, while women make 80% of all the consumer purchases. So as men are walking away from society and saying that we don't want to have anything to do with society or relationships, the government saying, oh, no, you don't understand. We own you. All right. And you're privileged and you belong to us. You're our property, but it is a privilege to be our property. And you are more, and you're more privileged than everyone else. You're a pathetic villain. And women are brave. Men are pathetic victims, and women are brave. Women are brave victims, and men are pathetic villains. Okay, are powerful victims. Women are powerful victims, and this is the narrative that they put out there. And it's like they want you to be grateful to be their indentured servant. We'll send you to war, and you should be grateful to go to war and to serve your country because it's awesome. And if you don't do it, we're going to put you in prison. But you don't have. It doesn't have to be that way because it's a privilege. You should be grateful for it. Okay. Your job as a man is to give more than you receive and to sacrifice yourself for women in the state. Here's the thing: if men do not think about it, if men do not have love for family or love for country, they will fight for neither. And now you have a generation of men who are walking away and just want to be left alone, but the state cannot survive without them. So this is just a way of surveilling men, of demonizing men, and to punish men for leaving society. Basically, as long as you exist, they will come after you. They will try to punish you. They will try to destroy you. They want to make your life miserable as you are here. And even if you comply and obey, it doesn't matter because they'll still punish you right along the way. This is why I say do not go where you are needed and simply adore. Some simp in my comments said that. No, go where you are appreciated, go where you are celebrated, and even then, always be on alert. Always expect the worst while hoping for the best, but always expect the worst and be prepared for the worst. Because as men, they don't like us anywhere we go. Really, the only reason why they may appreciate us or celebrate us is simply because they need us, and that's just their tactic to keep us. But do not understand the underlying concept is no matter where we go as men, we are hated. Don't ever forget that. What is the ultimate results of all of this? It's the ultimate results that the ultimate outcome of men being arrested for playing games, men being under constant surveillance, is basically men moving back to playing games that are not online, going back to PlayStation 2 and so forth, emulating games, playing games that are only offline, and avoiding society even more, and then having even less trust in society. Because society's like, oh, you're so privileged, everything is so wonderful for you. I saw an article recently, like it just came out, that said Gen Z is the luckiest home buying generation ever. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's how bad they're not even trying anymore. Like, they are literally gaslighting us so hard, it's insane. All right, I'm not a fan of Gen Z, but for them to say they're the luckiest home buying generation ever, you've got to be kidding me, guys. And as men, the reason why they despise us so much is because men are the only ones who can stand up to tyranny. Okay, we're the only ones who can stand up to tyranny, so we are their natural enemy. I want you guys to take that into consideration. What the future looks like is men continuing to walk away and avoid the state, relationships. A lot more guys going MGTOW, and walking away, expressing their alternatives, or just avoiding the state entirely. That's what the future is looking like. That's what the future holds. And women basically finding themselves without men to subsidize their living anymore. And there's going to be a lot of destitution, lots of hardship, lots of pain, lots of suffering, lots of homelessness, lots of poverty. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the content, subscribe to our newsletter for my personal thoughts, insights, and a free copy of my ebook, The Blueprint for Escaping the Rat Race. Click the link in the description to get your free copy. What do you guys think regarding all of this? Men are being arrested for playing games. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA Men walking away. And cheers.